Hi everybody, welcome back again to another interesting tutorial on how to make this beautiful dartless corset. It's a transparent corset, so we are going to be learning how to draft and also how to cut and also how to sew this. Guys, it's going to be an interesting tutorial, and if you're interested in this, just keep watching. Please don't forget to share this video so that it's going to reach to other people that does not know how to make it. If you're interested, keep watching. So this is my pattern paper and we are going to start drafting the front pattern. Now I am going to start from this upper part to get my measurement. The first thing I'm going to do is to divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder divided by 2. I am going to mark half of it there, which is 8 inches. I'm going to go ahead and mark it out. Now I'm going to get the neck width of 3 by 3 inches. 3 by 3 inches, that is the neck width of 3 and the neck depth of 3 inches. That is for the front. Now I'm just going to extend it in a vertical line like this, my tape rule, to get to the shoulder to the point, shoulder to the bust point, shoulder to the under bust, shoulder to the waist, and shoulder to the hip line, which is our blouse length. Let me repeat it again: shoulder to the bust, shoulder to the under bust, shoulder to the waist, and shoulder to the blouse length, which is the hip line. Of course, your blouse is not going to get to the hip length because it's going to be having a boning. If you allow this corset to get to your hip length, sitting down is going to be it's not going to be easy for you. So later on I'm still going to reduce it so that it's going to be balanced. Or you after getting your half length, you add 5 inches or 6 inches down. That is going to be your blouse length. If you don't love it like so, you go ahead and mark any of your blouse length the way you want it to be. Now I've gone ahead to rule all my horizontal lines. I'm going to go ahead and mark out my neck width, which is like so. Now this place is going to be my chest line. I've gone ahead to rule it up. From the bust, I went up with 2 inches to mark out my chest line. Now from that chest line, I ruled down my armhole measurement to get the midpoint. Now I came down from the upper part. I came down with 1 inch for my shoulder slope and connect it like so. So whatever that is remaining on the armhole area, I divided it by 2 and keep it aside. Coming to the chest line, I measure my bust divided by 4. I mark there. So whatever I have on the chest, I'm still going to bring it down to the blouse or to the bust point. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and place my curve rule like so to connect my armhole curve. Sorry guys if you're not seeing this clearly. I am making this inside and I do not have much light inside. I'm only using my ring light to film because outside is very dark. I would have gone outside to film this, so if you're not seeing it clearly, just bear with me. Now after labeling it, you can see I label bust, under bust, waist, and this particular place is just the chest line. Having done that, like I said before, on the chest line I measured my bust divided by 4. I marked there. So whatever I have on the bust, on the chest line, I bring it down to the bust area. Now before going ahead to put down all the measurement, remember this is a dartless corset. Okay, it's a dartless corset. But before I do any other thing, I'm just going to go ahead and from the waist length waistline, I'm going to be snatching the waist. I am going to be snatching the waist with about 3 inches. So if your waist is 30 inches, remove 3 inches from it and divide the rest. Whatever you have on that waist, mark it on the waist. Now on the blouse length, I mark my hip divide by 4 and mark it there. Now I have not gone ahead to put any seam allowance. So if I'm cutting on my fabric, I'll be putting seam allowance. Now after putting down the measurement of bust and waist and hip measurement, I went ahead to put down my nipple to nipple divide by 2 from the bust measurement down to the blouse length, like so. Your nipple to nipple divide by 2. Of course, my nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. I mark 4 from bust line to the blouse length. Now coming to the chest line, you know that gap that normally, that gap that is in between corset cup, which is half an inch. Some people mark half an inch, so I'm going to mark it from the chest line down to the under bust. But I'm not going to be getting down to the under bust if I'm cutting. I just mark it, and if you watch clearly, I'm using my pencil to outline it, just to rule it out, because I am still going to make use of maybe chest line, from chest line down to the under bust. Now, having done that, to get our neck depth from the shoulder, if you measure from the shoulder down to the chest line is about 8 inches. So if I should leave my, or if I should cut out that chest line out, which is going to be the yoke, the cleavage is going to be showing. So I am not going to be doing so. So I'm still going to go up from the chest line. I'm going to go up with 1.5 inches, so that after cutting my cup, this cup is going to cover the cleavage. So from chest line, I went up with 1.5 inches. So I placed my tape upward on the shoulder again to get where the 1.5 inches is. So I have now 6.3 inches. So 6.3 inches is definitely okay for the neck depth. Okay, so I'm just marking the 1.5 inches that I started from the chest line. I'm going to go ahead and rule it like so, rule it across with my pencil. I'm still going to erase that 1.5 inches. I'm just showing you, it's just a guideline, so that you are not going to be making a mistake. All right, now the next thing I did is from the shoulder, I measure down to my under bust length, which I have there is about 13 inches. Now again, from the 1.5 inches I went up on the chest line, I measured it down to under bust. I have 7.7 inches, almost 8 inches. From that chest line, I went up with 1.5 inches. From the 1.5 inches, I measured down to the under bust. I have 7.7 inches. From the shoulder to the under bust, I have 13 inches. From the 1.5 inches I went up on the chest line to the under bust, I have 7.7 inches. Now I am going to still explain that we are going to use it as our dart, but before I go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and connect all the measurements I mark. Remember, I put down my bust measurement. I did not put under bust measurements. Take note of that, but you can go ahead and put your under bust measurement. Now connecting it down to the waist and to the hip length, which is the blouse length, like so. So I'm going to keep this aside. We are going to be working with our cup height, that started from the chest line upward. From the chest line I went up with 1.5 inches. We are about to create our cup. So because I don't want the cup to be too exposed, or the cleavage to be showing, so from that place I came up with 1.5 inches down to the under bust. I have 7.7 inches. So I am going to be using that 7.7 inches and the 13 inches from shoulder to the under bust to be creating our cup. I am supposed to create this cup inside this paper, but because it is a dartless corset, I am not supposed to create it inside that paper. So this is another paper entirely, which I cut out. So I just cut out a paper, normal paper, like so, and you can see the way I'm just placing my tape to get to, from the shoulder I have on this paper 13 inches, and you know, from shoulder to my under bust is 13 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and place my tape like so to get shoulder to the 6.3 inches, where the 1.5 inches is. So I mark, that is going to be my starting point. From there, I'm going to mark my shoulder to the bust, which is 10 inches, and shoulder to the under bust, which is 13 inches. So this particular place I just mark is just the, this place is just the under bust. And if you measure what I have just 7.7 inches at the down part there. Like I said, if you are not seeing what I'm marking clearly, I am sorry. What I'm using pencil to mark this. Later on, I'm going to use my marker to outline it. So I'm still marking shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust. So I am ruling my shoulder to bust, which is 10 inches. Then shoulder to under bust, which is 13 inches. Now this upper part is going to be the starting baseline, which is the shoulder to the chest line. The place I went up with 1.5 inches, which is 6.3 inches. So I went ahead to rule the line like so and connect. Now I'm going to label it the chest line, and here is going to be my bust. Let me label it bust, and this place is going to be the under bust. I'm about to create my cup outside to avoid marking a dart. So this particular side is going to be my center front, while this side I labeled is going to be my side part of the blouse. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to mark my nipple to nipple. So guys, I'm going to be inputting my nipple to nipple divide by 2. I'll mark it on this chest line, bust line, and under bust, and rule the line across like so. So having connected that, I've added my 4 inches there. Now remember, on this side part is going to be the armhole area. The place I labeled the bust, under bust, is that side is going to be the armhole area. You know how we normally get it. So from the bust, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple divide by 2, which is 4. I'm going to go ahead and mark 1, add 1 inch. So it's going to be giving me 5 inches there. So this side part, which is the armhole area, is going to be 5 inches. Of course, we know that our that armhole area is normally a little bit bigger. Sometimes we add 4.5 inches, sometimes we add 5 inches to it, sometimes we even add just 4 inches. So here I added 5 inches on this side part and 4 inches on the center front of the blouse. Take note of that. Having done that, coming to the under bust, I'm going to be marking my dart, putting down my dart intake. If you are not busty, mark 1 inch, but if you're a little bit busty, mark 1.3 inches. But if you are a size that you know your bust size that is a little bit bigger, go ahead and add 1.5 inches. But if you're a plus size, maybe you should use 2 inches, I don't know. Okay, so I just marked 1 inch at the both sides, at the both side, because I'm a bust 36. I am using 1 inch. I can even use 1.3 inches. So 1.3 inches is okay for a bust 36. So I connected it from the under bust to the bust point like so. Now, having done that, on the center front of the bust line, I deducted 1 inch at the both side. From the line of the bust, I went up with 1 inch and came down again with 1 inch. So you can see the way I'm placing my curve rule like so. I am going to be connecting it like this to meet to the nipple to nipple that leg like this. So we are about to be getting our 3-part corset. You know, this is a 3-part corset. Now coming to this side part, I am going to be taking half inch on the line like so. You know, on the center front I took 1 inch. So this side I'm going to be marking out half an inch, and connect it like so. So this is just basically the best way to draft a cupped or corset, okay. Now this is supposed to be an online class, like I said, but I am just showing us all the best way to achieve a corset. Okay, now having created this, that the next thing I'm just going to go ahead to do is to on this chest line, which is our starting point, I am going to come down there on the center front of this particular side. I am going to be coming down with 1 inch, or sorry, 0.5 inches. Now on the side part, I am going to come down with 1 inch. Center front, I came down with half an inch. Side part, I came down with 1 inch. So I'm going to place my ruler like this and connect it meeting to the dart leg like this. I'll connect this side and also connect this other side. So you can see that our cup is now having shape. So that is why it's important for you to draft it outside, not inside your basic bodies. Okay, now after connecting, I am still coming in again in that line like so. I marked 0.3 inches and connect like this. I went in with about 0.3 inches upward and connect it down to the bust. The same thing goes to the center front and connect it like so. So that is how to achieve this. Now the next thing I'm just going to go ahead to do is to curve out our cup. From the dart leg on the bust, I'm going to place my French curve like this and connect my cup. You can see the way I'm connecting it. Guys, if you do exactly what I did, I'm telling you that you are not going to be having any issues while making your cup corsets. So this technique is best for a cup corset, like the one you normally add your boning. The cup you normally add your boning, is this technique is good on it. But you can go ahead and use your foam to achieve this. It's going to be very, very beautiful. Now after marking out all our cup, I went ahead to mark number 1, number 2, and number 3 cup. So we now have our 3 parts cup corset, and you can see it's looking very, very beautiful. So now the next thing to do is to cut it out, but I'm going to be stopping here because this video is very long. I'll be posting the part 2 of this video. So guys, I'm going to be posting part 2 of this video because it's very, very long. So I'm going to be stopping here, and if you love what you do here guys, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and also don't forget to like this video, share this video guys, so that every other person will learn from it. And make sure you draft exact like the way I just drafted. If you get it right, you're not going to be having issue. See you guys on the part 2 of this video. Bye for now.